Hi everybody, Kim Berry here with Kim's DIY Tribe. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and a like. Today I'm working on a pen project. Just a cute little thank you gift or a little token of appreciation for somebody that you love or that you like a whole lot. These pens came from Amazon and they're really nifty because they have clear fillable barrels. I love that they were powder coated and clear and fillable. So I took it to the laser engraver, the Glowforge Laser engraver, which the links of course are going to be below, as well as in the post that goes with this video. And I picked purple to start with for a friend of mine. I laser engraved it with her name and it shows up in a gunmetal gray. The lighting is hard for you to see it, but it shows up really nice in this beautiful shade of metallic gray. And now I'm going to fill the barrel, and it's important to kind of keep track of this little silver ring. It comes off, so you want to make sure to keep track of that because it spaces the pen appropriately from the base. And then the plug, which is important to keep the liquid inside. For the liquid, I'm going to use, and I'm going to keep these here in the lid to keep track of, basic mineral oil. It's available cheap and anywhere and easy to use. I use rubbing alcohol to clean it up because of its oily residue. So far, I've tried a couple of these, and this little stopper keeps the oil contained. I'm going to glue the pen together at the end because it's a gift for someone, just to be sure, but on the ones I've already tested, they've been fine. I haven't had to glue them. So, we're going to fill it. I've got my little mixing cup here. I'm going to put my mineral oil in. And I'm going to give myself a little bit more than I think I need. And I'm going to add the embellishments right to this oil before I pour it in the pen. And I'm going to show you how and why I do that. I have lots of different choices. I have some purple micro beads and tiny little seed beads. I thought some white ones would look pretty, like pearl. These are tiny looking little gems, like diamonds. They have a lot of sparkle and they're really pretty. Okay, I'm going to put some of those in there. I don't want to overload the pen to where there's no movement of the contents at all. I want them to be floaty. That's a scientific term. You heard it here first. Floaty. I'm going to add some of my glitters. I have a couple of different shades of glitter to give it a dimensional sparkle. We're going to add a super light one. Some of these micro beads. They almost look like little metallic pearls in the shade of purple, which is her favorite color. And a couple of these. And the heavier ones obviously are going to sink more than float. That's why the glitter is important, because it stays floaty. It's light. And especially in the mineral oil suspension. Water would just be too thin and it would just clump. That's why it's kind of important to get the mineral oil instead. My husband's like, why not use baby oil? And I told him I don't like the way it smells. It's just too strong for me. And then I have the beautiful Art Institute glitter. I love it. I'm going to use my little scoop here and put just a little sprinkle of the dark purple. Okay. And then it's called Purple Polka Dot. And then I also have one called Taffeta. That's kind of funny. How many bridesmaids dresses and prom dresses were made out of taffeta back in the day? And it's a medium shade of purple. So I've had 3 shades, really light, and then medium and darker. I'm going to use this stick and kind of stir my inclusions around and then decide what I think, if I want to add more or less. I think I like it the way it is. All right, so now I'm going to set this on this alcohol soaked paper towel so my oil does not get everywhere. I don't want oily hands and oil going everywhere. I'm taking the top off of the mineral oil squirt bottle that I put it in because it is a nice funnel basically. And I'm going to put that inside my pen, just so. And I'm going to hold it on. I'm going to pour this in. And of course you got to let some air go. And I want to pour off a little bit of the oil to get to those inclusions, because I don't want to fill up the pen before I get to those. So I'm going to pour off a little. And I'm going to get those inclusions in there. There we go. And I'm filling the pen. Need my little red poker. This is off a can of canned air that I used up, but I saved the poker because it comes in handy for filling small things like this, especially when you want to get your inclusions through this little funnel. There we go. And you can always add more, but you can't, it's harder to take it away. It's messier. All right. Almost there. Almost have it filled to capacity. Let that sit there. Now I want to take my instruments off of here, but I don't want to get the oil all over my work surface. So I'm going to get a paper towel and use my rubbing alcohol to wipe down the outside and to hold it, keep my oily fingers from getting on there. All right, I'm going to put the stopper in, and I'm going to make sure it's flush to fully seal that in there. And that's my silver ring is on there. And give it a really good wipe down with my rubbing alcohol so there's no oily residue. And then I'll be ready to seal it. I also thought it would be really cool. I make glitter tumblers, and I thought it would be fun to glitter these and epoxy them. So I have one on my cup spinner now that is going, and I'm going to see how that one turns out. I'll show you that one as well. I didn't laser engrave it. I just put it on I Loctite, sprayed it with a spray adhesive called Loctite, and I glittered it. And then there's the purple pen with the embellishments. And there's the one bubble that'll kind of help you keep things kind of moving and flowing. See how they kind of come down? And of course the heavy ones are going to sink or float depending on how you put them in. But now that pen's ready to go with her name on it, and it's personalized to her with her favorite colors, and it's perfect. But the glitter, I altered the spinet so that I could, which I don't love for tumblers because it's not sturdy and stable enough for the big cups, but it worked great for smaller cups and smaller projects. So I thought I'd use a wooden skewer and some tape, and I'll show you how I rigged up my spinet so that I could put my pen on there. Then I'm going to Cricut a tiny little name out of vinyl, and I'm going to apply it and epoxy it again and fill the barrel with some matching glitters and embellishments, and then put that pen together. And so I'll show you a laser engraved one and the epoxied tumbler version of a pen in the video at the end. Thanks for being with me, and I'll come back when all of them are done and show you the finished projects. Have a great day. Here we are in Inkscape, getting ready to design the text that we will engrave onto our pen project. I hit new file and opened one. I'm going to go down here to the letter A and open up a text box. I'm going to drag it and make it bigger than I need so it's easy to work with. And I'm going to type in my name, whatever name that I am making a pen for. So, actually, let me change that real quick. It's a friend of mine. Now, when you are in this, it just looks plain and ready to go. But I suggest you try a couple of different things. For one, I go over to Fill and Stroke. Up here in Object, you can click on Fill and Stroke, and it pops up as a window over here to your right. Then click No Fill, and it looks like it disappears. That's fine. Hit Stroke Paint and click on just the outline, and you can see the fine outline of a name. Then go to Stroke Style and increase the millimeters. As you can see, it will become a little bit darker. Go up to Path. Come down the choices of the drop down to Union, and that will make all the connecting weld, basically a design space like in Cricut. You hit weld, well, Union is the same in Inkscape. Now I'm going to go click this arrow and move the whole name over to my paper. It's wanting to be sassy, no problem. And I'm going to save it as a Cairo PNG. So I'm going to go to Save As, and I'm going to name it. It's under a file of pens that I'm making for a bunch of different friends. So I'm going to name it Pen, her first name, and I'm going to change it from Inkscape SVG to the Cairo PNG. Then I'll click Save, and it's already in my Glowforge file with the pens that I've already created. Now, I'll go into my Glowforge interface. Here's another one I've already preloaded, so I'm going to use that name for this color pen. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to center it over the pen. And I'm going to shrink it, obviously. And I want to get it as centered as I can. Notice that I want the first name up by the end of the pen and the last name down by the writing tip. I think that's just more aesthetically pleasing, but you do what you like to do. I want to make this just a little smaller and click out of it to help me make it more draggable. And I always click out to make it more user-friendly for me to drag around a tiny, tiny shape. All right, then I'm going to go to the settings. Here we are at the settings, and the settings I like to use are a speed of 700 and the power at about 50%. I have my pattern density elevated just a bit shy of center, and I bumped my lines per inch up to 270. I set it on thick draft board because a pen barrel is fairly thick, especially when I have it set on a jig like this on the honeycomb tray. We're ready to run it. I have my name, and I wanted to show you this trick that helps a whole lot. When you click on this hand, you can move your screen big and move it anywhere in your viewing box that you want to see it, so you can check your engraving up close. I have it at 300% right now. Then I can click back over here to the arrow if I want to make adjustments to what I have done here. I just thought I'd show everybody who was new in case they hadn't seen that before. We're ready to click print. It's going to prepare it and center it. It's going to take about a minute and a half to engrave approximately. That's about what my other pens took. I will show you the finished pen when we get done. It'll need some cleaning. It may have a little bit of char on there, and we'll scrub it with a toothbrush and some regular old dish soap, and then we'll set to filling them. Okay, here it is all lasered. We're gonna go clean it up. I'm just gonna use a toothbrush and a little bit of dish soap and wash away the char, and I will show you how we're going to fill this for this friend of mine.